Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing, and you can see this July the 15th noontime update. As we talked about earlier and we emphasized yesterday, a consolidation and a sell-off, profit-taking, whatever you want to call it, is happening today. The Bitcoin price is currently at right now about 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 2.65% down. Ethereum has been down 1.5% to up 2%, currently up 1%, but it's moving volatilely, swinging. XLM is down 4%, XRP is down about 2%, AMP about 1.25%, Algo is up 1.25%, XC on XDC down 5 and 5, almost 6% respectively. DGB is up a couple of %, and across the board, it's primarily a couple of % down. But it is something that we thought would take place as there is profit taking. If we look at news, Bitcoin Treasury model is breaking, but strategy isn't. Here's why. Let's see. By 2025, the Bitcoin Treasury model has reached a critical mass. And this is something Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing talked about first. 2 weeks ago, we were breaking this down. Everybody taking the MicroStrategies playbook about converting their common stock and borrowing against their company to buy Bitcoin on leverage, right? MicroStrategies, it's worked so far because he started at 20,000, but now he just bought a shitload more at 121,000, and his average price now is in the 70,000. It's like the mid 70s. But most of these other 250 companies really started to do it as it hit 100,000. So what's going to happen? What's the catalyst and this spillover and leakage in the other institutions and other sectors if Bitcoin goes into a traditional bear market at some point, and you got a lot, and most of these 85 to 90% of these companies buying Bitcoin with an average price over 90,000, 100,000, if it goes down and they start getting those loans called, and then their company goes bankrupt, and then everyone that did business indirectly with them are fucked too, and they will have problems. Over 250 organizations, including public companies, private firms, ETFs, pension funds, major pension funds, your retirement pensions funds, now hold BTC on their balance sheets. The Bitcoin Treasury model trend was ignited by Michael Saylor's Bitcoin plan, with strategies pioneering the use of Bitcoin as a corporate reserve asset. What began as a hedge against inflation evolved into a financial playbook adopted by a new class of Bitcoin holding companies, some structured to resemble quasi-exchange traded funds. Strategy's Bitcoin strategy remains the most high profile, yet the wider BTC corporate treasury movement now faces growing strain. The model relies on a simple thesis: raise capital, convert it into a supply capped crypto asset, and wait for long-term appreciation. However, volatility in Bitcoin price exposes these companies to significant Bitcoin corporate treasury risk. Let's suppose that a company's stock price slipped too close to or below the value of its underlying Bitcoin, known as its Bitcoin per share metric, or net asset value, NAV. Once the multiple of NAV premium evaporates, investors' confidence collapse. MNAV measures how the market value a Bitcoin holding company relative to the value of its Bitcoin reserve. A recent Breed VP Bitcoin report outlined how the scenario can trigger a BTC NAV death spiral. Declining price, erode NAV, cut off equity or debt funding, and forced distressed companies to sell their Bitcoin into a falling market, accelerating the downturn. Global trade financial gap. BTC NAV risk. The death spiral explained. The death spiral begins with a sharp drop in Bitcoin price that reduces a company's NAV premium, the valuation buffer that gives its shares lift. As the market cap contracts, access to new capital tightens. Without equity, buyers Buyers or lenders, companies can't extend their holdings or refinance existing Bitcoin debt. Financing for companies built on BTC equity versus debt strategy. The crack starts to show. If the loan matures or margin call hits, forced liquidation follows. Selling BTC to meet obligations depressed the asset price further, dragging other companies closer to their own spiral. In this environment, even minor shock can set off a cascading failure. And that's something that we're going to continue to keep highlighting, because one company that gets forced to sell, say they own 1,000 Bitcoin, can cause the price to go down another 10% quick, triggering another company to be forced liquidation, yet cascading the price even deeper. And it just cascades on itself, and it's like a feedback loop, because everyone's playing off the same playbook, right? It's good when it's working, but when it starts to fail, it will cascade and implode on itself. And it's just, when will it happen, and how bad will it be, right? But as of right now, the Bitcoin price is safely sitting at 118,000. The minor correction of 2.5%, coming off its $123,000 all-time high. The price is remaining what we're talking about. Underneath major support is the 50 and the 100 and this rising channel right there in purple that we've been in ever since the COVID mountain double top. As long as you're in this rising channel, you're bullish. The bullish case, if you continue up, is $152,000, similar to what this track shows right here. But something that track also does show, if we go into the future more, is out into the future, this one shows the biggest bull market, right? And then having your classic 70% capitulation to the downside, and then repeat the cycle more than likely if you just follow the pattern. But what this would do up here is, on a 60% drop, that would put a lot of these companies, by then they're going to keep buying. A lot of these companies like Michael Saylor would be close to 100,000. That would put them in distress, right? So that's something we're going to watch. I got to move on with this video because I got to get back into work. My lunch is over. I started this video late. You can see the Ethereum price is running up against upper resistance. The daily time frame is consolidating. On a breakout, your upper target is $3,961. With your first clone, your first bit of major upper resistance is right here. Your first bit of major upper resistance is right there at 34.69, the top part of this green support and resistance box where you're consolidating now. If we zoom into the hour time frame, you can see how volatile we've been today. We've been from last night down here, then we swung up, then we swung down, then we swung up. Currently, we're trying to break through. If we do break through, you will shoot very quickly up to 33.31 on any kind of breakdown. Your major underneath support is about 26.56 in a smaller time frame rising channel. XLM has been consolidating, and that is something that we talked about yesterday. Your bullish consolidation is in green right there, right? You come down to the 37 cents potentially, and then start the next uptrend on a consolidation that deep. A bearish consolidation would be you fail to hold that and you fall back in to the 37 cents and below that green support box, and that would be bearish. XRP is the same thing. You can see we're sitting on the 100-day moving average in the daily time frame, or the 50-day in the daily. A bullish consolidation could come all the way down to the 50-day in red, or the $2.56 horizontal left to right. Right, and that's in green. A bearish consolidation would be you get below the 256 and start holding it as resistance, and then that would be bearish, right? If we scroll down to Velo, some coins we haven't talked about in a while. Velo. You can see it's been consolidating sideways ever since the attempted breakout of this rising channel that we were in, which is a bearish consolidation. It's bullish, but it usually breaks down bearish, right? We broke down from when we talked last year when everyone thought it was super bullish. In January, February at the high, we said it was bearish. It went down 78%, and now it's starting to rally to get short-term bullish. Stay above the 200-day moving average in the daily time frame, which you just reclaimed. You're about to have a bullish cross with the 50 over the 100 and potentially golden bullish cross in a couple of weeks. So you stay over the 50 or the 200 day in the daily right there, you can continue bullish and maybe work towards the 0.021. IOTA, the same thing. You have this beautiful double bottom, and look at that, you fulfilled it. See that? You have this same double bottom like you had in XLM, and you did fulfill that. Now you came all the way up. Now what you want to do is hold where you're on right now, the old major resistance and support, mid-ground, 21 cents. You want to hold that 21 cents, and then you can continue pumping up. Like the channel, I got to get back into work. Peace and love.